in to Athletics LLC with Lamar, Lucius, Big League Chew, and my man Clyde, and the governor. You're about to be schooled in all things track and field. This is experience. Yes, sir. We are talking past, present, future. Y'all listen up. Let's go.
Well, it's now officially summer, which means there's no break. And we literally go right into transitioning of championship season, because as if we didn't have an indoor and outdoor, and then now we go to the national championships. So if we seem a little delirious, because we're trying to declare our athletes and, and keep them safe to get to their national championships. But nonetheless, Athletics LLC perseveres, moves on, and gives you another great week. Let's call it entertainment. I think it's going to be entertainment this week. I don't know about infotainment this week. So the governor, hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm hot. It's
Oh my gosh.
the
Yes.
heat dome is still very much present. So trying to stay indoors as much as possible. Practice sessions are done by 11. And
Oof.
you know, just keep it rolling.
Yeah. Will you enlighten the audience as to your background? Because I think that's cool.
Oh yeah, this is a map of all the D1 schools in the United States. And you know, anyone that had any questions about how the East is a little more represented than the West, take a look at that. Just have a look at that. It's kind of crazy.
What's that most northern school in the vertical line and the
That's gotta be,
longitudinal?
let me
Minnesota. It looks like it's either Minnesota-ish.
that is, no, that's North Dakota.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Holy. Yeah, that's just
Eh. Interesting. Shark Start Retire, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm good. I got my phone book strapped on. I got my fist balled up. I'm ready. Tonight's gonna be funny.
He's
Tonight's
fighting
gonna be
with
fun.
somebody. I don't know.
It's gonna be good.
He's got his sock full of bars of soap.
See, she knows. She knows. Listen, I need to let y'all know. In a past life, Chew did time. I'm telling y'all.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
She's like, don't tell
Lucius.
anybody.
Save us. Save us.
Oh.
So Lucius, how are you tonight, sir?
You know, I'm hot.
Everybody is hot.
Like, wow, like it was just hot. And no matter what I did, like it was so hot today that I had to really contemplate walking across the track to go inside to get something to drink, because I didn't know if I went there, if I was going to make it back.
Oh good.
Like, I'm like, because I mean, you go inside and it's air conditioned, and you're like, I won't go back out there, right? So I'm like, it was just awful.
The worst part is you go inside from the afternoon sessions and you're so sweaty that you actually are legitimately cold because your shirt is wet.
Yes, and I'm just like, this is just not acceptable. I'm sorry. I'm not sure like why this is happening right now, but it is really hot.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh. Clyde, I'm sure it's nice and 70 out where you are.
The weather out west is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been dealing with shit storms all day, both in my bubble and outside of my bubble. Feels like we got cuss and mouse, which we're all here for. Chew apparently is an ex-con. I'm here for all the shenanigans tonight.
Lord. Here we
All
go.
of it.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yes.
let's continue the fun.
So Chew, where did you do time at? I'd like to
I mean,
inquiring minds want to know.
she's a Cali girl. It's San Quentin.
San Quentin, for sure.
San Quentin.
Yeah, but you do short stints in Posadas and you'll be all right. That's your
Okay. I'll keep trying. Listen, She knows where the jails are. Y'all need to be paying attention.
All right, I'm sorry,
Oh.
Ju. I shouldn't have did that. I apologize.
No.
Start talking about Lompoc. Y'all better watch out.
Oh man.
Whew.
Let's continue the fun. We've got the USATF championships coming up next week. Our national team is going to start getting dropped into place. Maybe it looks like it does, that we think it is. Maybe we see a repeat of the finals day of NCAA meet. Who knows? So this week, going back to the topics that Sir Lucius had put up, we're going to start picking events and who's going to be representing. So let's start off. Let's go for the doozy. Just go out with a big punch. Come out with a big punch. Let's start with the 100-meter hurdles first.
Let's just go for the jugular. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Just going in. I mean, everybody says it's hot. Right now, all I
It's
can
hot.
hear is the block is hot. The block is hot. Ow.
Well, so
What is
we're
wrong with
doing
you,
we're doing
goofball?
predictions.
Yes, who is going to be?
Who's
the
gonna
national
make the
team?
squad?
Yep.
Okay, well,
We'll see. And when are we starting with the men's hurdles or the women's hurdles?
Women's hurdles first. Let's do the
Women's
women's
hurdles. Jeez.
I mean, you could have did
Ooh.
that second, golly.
Okay, so
No,
all right,
yeah.
so on the men's side, on the women's side, I'm sorry. So it's like the governor. All of a sudden, I'm confused.
See.
So on the women's side, I mean, I think it's incredibly interesting because you've got, as Clyde has been saying for a couple of years, that that's one of maybe the hardest team to make in the U.S. because there's just so many girls between 12.4 and 12.5, and then you got a couple of been into 12.2 and 12.3 range in their life. So, man, that's a tough one.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna ride with Kenny and Bobby. I gotta believe they're gonna make the team.
Kenny and
Kenny Harrison because of her
Mhm.
partnership with Bobby Kersey. Oh man, who made the team last year?
Who made
was
the
Kenny-
team last year? Aaliyah
it was Kenny
Armstrong
and-
made the team.
Kenny.
Laisha Johnson made the team. And
So I'm gonna ride with Lele again.
okay.
Just because I think that she can get it done.
And Nia made the team. No, wait.
She had a wild card. She had a
Yeah.
wild card.
Yeah, wild card. That's right.
Yeah. So Nia hasn't, and I hate to count Nia out because man, like she's kind of like Dawn, right? If she's
Mhm.
got a pulse and she gets to the final, she'll find a way.
Yeah,
but I know
don't let her
she's
get
got-
to the final because
Exactly, because then you got issues. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Kenny and Lele. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about the third one right now. That one's oof.
So entered in that same time pool, you have Masai, Tia Jones, Nia, Aaliyah. She's not declared yet. And that's in that time.
Hey, that chew. No.
I'm
These
just
are big
saying.
boys. They don't need nobody reading to them. Just let them. They know their instructions. Don't be trying to help them out.
Oh man.
Well, okay. So the top for the audience or whoever else, the US list is
Mhm.
Kenny, Masai, Armstrong, Lace
He go
Johnson,
reading.
Tia Jones, Nia Ali, Tonia Marshall,
Can we make predictions?
and Tale Barnes.
People can go online and figure out who's been entered.
Oh no, I'm not saying who's entered. I'm just talking about the list, the actual list, US.
Yes.
I don't even know who's entered.
I got it right here.
So, who was your top three, Clyde?
I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I'm looking for right there.
No, listen, I don't really care what.
And Clyde, no, look, I need you because this is your event, man. Like, come on, I need you to stick your chest out.
Yeah, no,
like you always do.
I'm good. I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Okay,
Listen,
thank you. That's what I'm looking for right
I
there.
mean, you know, Kenny made the transition. It's supposed to work. It better work. Kenny makes the team.
Right.
If Masai Russell can avoid hitting the second hurdle, I think she makes the team rather easily, given how she's looked. And then after that, I'm sorry, I don't bet against Nia Ali. I did that once, like way back in like 13 or 2012, and it cost me. And I'm not doing that again. I've never done it again. If Nia's healthy and on her feet, she makes the team. So Russell, Harrison, and Nia Ali in no particular order. That's who I got.
I have Kenny Harrison, Lele, and I have Tia Jones making that squad. I've been watching that young lady. I mean, you talk about, you know, she is the antithesis of the
Wow.
young phenom.
Okay, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you define that word for us, please?
Just
She's a complete opposite of what we've been seeing with these young phenoms that are 14, 15 doing crazy things that you're expecting to peter out later on. And I mean, the whole reason why they've just blown up the World Youth Championships and all of that is because of all that success that those kids were enjoying so early. Tia Jones is the antithesis of that. And I mean, I'm going to give her flowers, the fact that she's there and she's still competitive and she's lining up and she's running well. Those are my three: Kenny Harrison, Lele, Tia.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give you my third. I'm gonna ride with Masai.
Okay.
Just because she's been running well all year long.
Yes, she has.
And she's not gonna be running the 4 hurdles in this meet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna ride with Masai. So there you
go. I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm gonna bet against Nia Ali, and I know this is probably not smart. I'm gonna pick Kenny, Lele, and Masai. And I will just say this for those.
So you just same as mine, right?
Yes, and for those who don't really know the event, like all 3 of those people have had an issue at some point in time in a final.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm going against my own gut on this one, but I feel like this is going to be the group.
I mean, it doesn't sound like a bad group to have.
Oh, no. Like, look, that's the thing with the women's hurdles, right? Like you could pick 3 of 6 and you could be right.
yeah, no matter what, 2 to 3 women who can absolutely get medals will be at the house. That's all. That's how it's been.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Let's make a transition. Let's add 10 meters to that. Let's go to the men's.
10 meters and move them up.
Yep.
All right.
Up and out, guys. Up and out.
I'll go first. So Lucius has heard me say this more than once in the last couple of days, and I don't know why this won't get out of my head, but I'm going to say it again. I think it may very well take sub 13 seconds to make this team.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And remember, that's 4 people because Grant's already going. I think that the other 3 people are.
So we're picking the other 3 outside of Grant?
Yeah, outside of Grant because he's already there. Right. So in no order, it's his first time at this level. But for some reason, I just think the way he's running, even if he messes it up a little bit, I think he makes the team. And I think Mr. Tinch is going to make the team. I think behind him, of this group, the guy that closes the best, who has the most experience, is Devin Allen. And quiet as it's kept, the resurgence tour of Mr. Daniel Roberts has been noted at least by my two eyes. So I think those are the three. But when I tell you they're going to have to look at the picture for third place, they're going to have to look at the picture for third place.
Well, you look at the USA top list and you've got 1296, 1298, 1301, 1304, 1309, and 1314. Okay. I am quite willing to go ahead with Tinch, Roberts, Allen, not in that particular order. But, you know, Roberts came close to his PB in New York. Devin Allen is running at a very, very high level. I mean, Tinch has a chip on his shoulder that is a mile high. Like this dude, man, I'm excited to see what he does. You know, the hurdles have a way of punishing you if you're a little over the top. So it'll be interesting to see how he controls his emotions, because yeah, I mean, the man feels slighted and he has every reason to feel slighted. I expect him to be running angry. So, but my three, Tinch, Roberts, Allen, I think they are a class above, you know, if not for time, for experience.
Would you be willing to get into the why he feels slighted for the audience?
So he feels slighted because the Bowerman didn't even put him in as a semifinalist. He was erased off of the Bowerman dais before the semifinalists were announced. And all he did the very next day was to run 1296. Legal.
Which if he'd have run that legal before the Bowerman dais, he might have been on the dais. Yes, but we don't put people on the Bowerman dais for running fast, windy, or jumping far away.
Absolutely.
Windy.
There you go.
Right.
So no question. But I mean, I understand he feels slighted. But Clyde, I'll let you go next, please.
I would, for all things Division II, which still carries, you know, a certain weight with your boy here. I am rooting for Mr. Tinch to make the team. I don't think he's going to win, but if he can keep his composure against actual threats to him, I think he can make the team. That's the most interesting thing about his situation this year. He's, you know, dominated the fields that he's seen. He hasn't seen or dominated these people. So it's a different thing. And by all accounts, this will be his first delve into that kind of fray. So I'm rooting for Mr. Tinch to make the team. Obviously, Grant is on the team, but short of some very specific instructions from his coach, who may or may not be good at his job, I imagine that if Grant makes the final, he's going to run the final. So I'm going to pick Mr. Holloway to win. So I will pick Mr. Holloway to win. Again, Devin Allen is kind of like, you know, Nia at this point. If he's deciding to come all the way out there and risk his football situation to make this team, I imagine he's going to make the team. And speaking of chips on his shoulder, he might have a gripe or two from the last time he was out there. And so it would hurt to see Daniel Roberts not make the team. He's been through a lot. He's got himself back together. He looks good. He's another one that needs to prove he can hold it together under the biggest lights. So I'm taking the chalk field here, right? With Holloway leading, but Tinch, Roberts, and Allen should make the team. And I think if they do, we'll be in a very good position to dominate the World Championships.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I want to start with, I think Mr. Holloway can run himself into or out of the final. Then that, you know, I'm going to just leave that right there. And then there's no way I'm betting against Devin Allen. Dude's home. I mean, he's never run bad in that building. He's not going to start running bad there now. And said chip, is much bigger than the chip Mr. Tinch has on his, right?
Yes.
I need everybody to remember that like Daniel Roberts is defending champion, right?
Mhm.
He's a reigning champion. And his resurgent tour has been well noted by Sharks. And I think that there's a guy that we have to take notice of is Mr. Britt's been running well all year long.
Mhm.
All year long. And so I think, you got those three, you got Mr. Tench, and I think for me, this one's going to come down to the three guys that can keep their composure, the three guys that can handle the pressure of, I get to hurdle 8 and there's not company, there's a lot of company, right?
There's a crowd.
So I have all the faith in the world that Daniel and Devin can do that. There's a guy that trains here in Gainesville, not named Holloway, that he better be prepared for that, or his coach is going to have a problem with his coach and with the athlete. And so I think when you talk about Daniel Roberts, Mr. Allen, Robert Dunning, Mr. Tench, and Mr. Britt, I think you can throw the 5 of them up in the air. And like you guys said, it's going to be a blanket over at the finish line. And I'm sure somebody else is going to show up and be a part of this mess too, right?
Right.
Just the way it always works out. So I'm going to just, I have to go with Daniel because he's shown that he can do it. I have to go with Mr. Allen because he's home and he has a chip on his shoulder, and I have to go with Mr. Dunning because I coach him. So yeah, no, nothing against Mr. Tench, but
There you go.
I cannot sit here and publicly say I don't believe in Robert Dunning when I coach him every day. So,
Right.
Yeah. So I'm sure I'll be a meme for somebody next week that Mr. Tench will have an attitude with me now. So, but that's fun.
He's just not mad that he's not there.
Yeah.
Somebody check his Twitter real quick.
I know, right?
But
All
I
right.
can promise you one thing: no matter what anybody says on Twitter, I ain't going to make the team. So better show. Here's something else that I think that people need to understand: that this is going to come into a factor. Like you have 3 quality races in a 24-hour period.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is not a one-off situation. It's not a situation where you come out the first round and just jerk around. Then the next day you got to come back and you run, and like an hour and a half later you run again, right? So you have to run 13 low and then come back and run sub 13 maybe, an hour and a half later. So that's going to factor into this whole thing as well. So
What a web. What a web.
Am I the only one that thinks it's going to take sub 13 to make the team?
No.
yeah, you are.
It's men's hurdles.
Let me tell you something.
All
It's
of them
not gonna
doing
take
that at
sub
the same
13.
time, I can't
It's not
see.
going to happen. No, it's not going to. No.
They're all
See, okay. Well, here's the thing. Like, let's start with the fact that there's only 2 of them that have run sub 13 this year, right? And the other ones, no, I don't see it. Now, I'm wrong. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Oh, I get it. Listen, I think part of me is more rooting for it than necessarily am like locked in my head it's going to happen.
Yeah, okay, rooting for it because here's the thing. Okay, so let's take a short dive into this, right? It's just like we just talked about. It's a lot easier to go out and run that without experience when there's 1 or 2 people there. But when you get to hurdle 8 and there's a lot of guys there, that just changes the whole dynamic of it. And I'm not saying that I'm not accusing anybody of not being able to handle it. Don't make me a meme, Coach Holloway. I didn't say that, right? But it's just history. This group hasn't shown to be the group of Aries and David and what's your guy who went to South Carolina. Why can't I think of his name right now?
Terrence Trammell?
Terrence Trammell.
No.
Allen Johnson?
Allen went to North Carolina.
Right.
Jason Richards.
Oh, South Carolina.
Jason Richards.
Jay Rich. Gotcha.
Jay Rich, yeah. That crew, right? That crew,
Special.
Yeah, special. And so this crew has the talent to be like that. But again, we talk about Mr. Tench being a guy that hasn't faced that. A lot of these guys haven't faced that, right? Devin and Daniel have, but the rest of them
Right.
haven't shown that they can rise to that occasion under this pressure. So it's not just about Mr. 10. Just a lot of the guys in this field that haven't faced that kind of adversity yet. So let's see how they handle it.
Yeah.
Be a fun ride. So let's take a whole lap and we're going to move to the 400. So let's start the
Men's or
opposite
women's?
this time. Let's go men's first.
Oh boy.
Ooh. Oh Lord.
Sharks, you got this one?
Men's 400.
Yes, sir.
And I don't have to pick Mikey because he already has a bye.
Yeah, he's not even running it. So yeah. I think
Who's
he's just
not?
running the
Who's
200.
not
right
running
now.
it?
Mikey.
Okay.
He's just running the 200.
Okay.
No, we got a 100-meter plan, I see.
Well, he didn't have a mark.
Mm-hmm.
Touche.
If you check the status of entries, he entered as 10:02 windy, and it got not accepted. So
Yeah, that's not a thing.
right, it's not.
You gotta get some folks to stand by the wind gauge,
Oh man. I'm gonna pick Mr. Willie.
For the win?
We don't have to pick order, so I'm not going to. Whew. Jesus, there's just not a lot of people running well that are American. Oh, good grief. You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna have to punt. I'm gonna have to come back to you because right now I have a mind block. So I'm just gonna be honest. I need a couple minutes to regroup.
So I'm gonna go with I say Willie makes the team. I definitely think Vernon Norwood will make the team. He has been trending very well. He's gone over to Europe. He's competed very well. This is the most consistent I've seen him in a long time. And then
maybe ever.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go with Justin Robinson for that third spot. Justin Robinson is running like a dog. I think we've all known him to be. Somehow he gets the most out of that little body that he has. I mean, it's fun to watch him get after it. It really is. It's really fun to watch him get after it. So those are the three I'm gonna pick. I think this 400 squad and this 4x4 is gonna be quite young.
Well, let me say that this list is a mess.
It's a mess.
I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure how we landed here in this event in this country. But I'm not here for it right now. So I'm hoping to see some elevated performances at the big show and ultimately in Budapest. But yeah, this right here is a mess.
6 out of the top 10 entries are collegiates.
Yeah.
All for collegiate season.
Right.
So I feel the comfortability is going to be there because they're going to be very much lining up against each other.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
I think it adds another dimension. It's not a thing where, oh my goodness, there's Michael Johnson. Oh my goodness,
it's the collegiates versus the relay bandits.
Absolutely. There you go.
It's like the hottest race to see who ends up on the mixed relay.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
And so,
I didn't go there. Okay. I didn't.
I
mean, Clyde did. Clyde did.
He went there and he's.
Oh man.
I wish he was more wrong. Let's just say it like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, like, of course yes. I mean, I actually root for Vernon Norwood, but I've never seen anything from him at this level. It's like, oh, he's the guy, like he's gonna win. Like, no. So I'll put him on the team. Obviously I'll put Willie on the team. I mean, are there not more Gators for me to choose? There don't seem to be.
No, there's not.
So yeah,
Ja'Cory Patterson is running. Yeah, he is.
Okay, he's not declared yet.
He needs to
FYI.
declare, yeah.
Yeah, but he'll be declared tomorrow.
I wasn't trying to out you. I wasn't trying to out you. I literally was going to text you
checking
that.
everyone. She just checked the governor. I mean the Sir Lucius.
No, I mean,
and
he will be declared tomorrow. There's no checking there. Just fact finding.
I can't do Patterson. You know what? I'm gonna take Robinson. I'm gonna take Robinson. I mean, why not? Yeah. You know, Godwin, is coming off the injury. So yeah. Willie Norwood and Robinson. Sure.
Okay, so obviously I'm going with Ryan Willie. I think Vernon's my guy. I love Vernon. But I don't know. I'm gonna go with three collegians. I'm gonna go with Ryan Willie, Emmanuel Bynum, and Justin Robinson.
Wow.
Okay.
Bynum. He did say Bynum, did he not?
You did.
I did.
Oh my goodness.
Just be different.
Okay.
But Vernon's making the team in some capacity. Trust me on that. Vernon will be in this. Trust me on that.
Yeah. Mixed gender relay.
You know what? You said be different. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna say Ryan Willie. I'm gonna say Vernon Norwood. And I'm gonna say Ja'Cory Patterson.
Okay.
Well, that's different.
Sir Lucius, who was your last pick? Sir Lucius, who was your last pick?
Bryce
Emmanuel Bynum. No, Emmanuel Bynum.
Oh, okay.
I don't see that name.
From Tennessee? He's not declared? He's not even entered? Well, okay, I'm sorry. Well, I'll have to come off for that one. Maybe he's Jamaican or something. I don't know. So then I'm gonna have to backtrack and say Ryan, Justin, and Vernon Norwood. See, I mean, and I can go home and ride with my boy Ja'Cory, but I'm gonna let that be a surprise for y'all. So
okay.
Listen, somebody picked him. I picked him. We don't all have to pick him, but I picked him.
Correct.
It's we've said this a bunch of times on the show, right? If not now, then when?
Then when?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Because I don't think anybody, if you just base it on talent, I don't think anybody would be even 1% surprised if Ja'Cory Patterson shows up and runs real damn fast. But we just need to see him do it. So I hope he does. And I wanted to be different, and I wanted to ride for the young man because he's a hell of a young man. I like him.
All right. Let's move to the women.
Can I start with this fine point here? I cannot believe that I am looking at a declared sheet where Britton Wilson has declared in both the hurdles and the 4. There's no way she's going to go out there and try that double again.
Well, apparently she is.
What's the schedule look like?
What's the schedule look like?
I don't care.
I had it here. I got it right here.
Choose going to enlighten us here, and maybe because the 400 is first, right?
Yes.
And maybe she's going to run the 4, and if that doesn't go well, come back to the hurdles, or maybe
correct.
Sure. If you tell me it's for insurance purposes, great.
I
But
feel, I
this ain't
feel
the
like
Olympic
it would be
trials. The
for,
meet ain't that long.
No, it's not.
So
I feel like it would be for insurance purposes, personally.
400 hurdles is at 6:35 p.m. on Friday.
Right in the
And
middle of it.
the 400 women for the open 4 is at 8:29.
The semi.
Yes.
Oh Jesus!
Okay.
So there's no
The
there's
first
no
round
insurance
of the
there.
400 is at 4:56 on Thursday.
So the first round is Thursday, and then
Yep.
of the 400, and then the 400
Oh,
hurdle
I
first
see.
round is at 6:30, and then 2 hours later is a 400 semi.
Yep.
No
Okay.
chance.
No shot.
Sorry, I
At least
scrolled
we
right
all
through
hope
Thursday.
no shot.
So I say that to say I'm gonna need to do my picks under protest because I need that question answered before I choose.
So you got
Because-
the 4 hurdles first round at 6:35, and then the semis are at 8:30,
Yeah.
And what the next day look like?
and then the next day on
Saturday.
Saturday, you have the 400-meter final. No, the 4 hurdles. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the 400-meter
Fourth
final.
final at 6:20, 6:19.
Yeah, 6:19.
And the
Ooh,
hurdles are
and the
35 minutes.
semis are 35 minutes later.
Folks,
No.
I'll bet you a fair amount of money. Listen,
No.
I will bet you a fair amount of money that she is entered in both and declared in both because there is no honest effort rule to this. She will drop out of one of them.
Mhm.
Sure. And this is my point. So if you tell me
And so
that
so we're gonna base it on the entries, I guess.
Yeah.
And then based on the entries, I mean, you have to say, all right. So I'll go first. I mean, Sydney, long shot, not at all. Guaranteed. Stamp it. I mean, so based on that, I'm gonna go Britain, Sydney, and Talitha,
Mm-hmm.
and then throw them up in there.
yeah, see, and that's my issue, right? Like,
Well, that's all you had to do is pick 3, though, right?
no, yes, because
Yeah.
there's no buy here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think Sid wins this thing pretty easily. I think if Britain runs the 4 straight up, I think she gets second. And then yeah, Talitha beats the rest of these people. Those are my 3. But if you tell me she's going back and forth, no. And I would gladly-
just the fact that there's only 35 minutes
Yes.
between see, again, the 400 is first.
Yep.
She's not coming back 35 minutes later and making the 400 hurdle final. We're not going to try that again.
and,
Not even sure why we declared in both of them. I mean, like you have to know by now what you're doing, right? I
So
would think
obviously the what's just hanging over everyone's heads is what is Sydney McLaughlin going to do as far as the world championships are concerned, right?
oh, you mean at Worlds?
Yeah, at Worlds.
I don't
at
think it's hanging over
Worlds.
anybody's head. I mean, it's like it's Sydney. It's Bobby. I mean, this is what Bobby does. Nobody's surprised by this. You
Yeah.
know? Bobby likes to leave everybody in limbo, right?
Yeah. So
Ain't you said no honest effort. She gonna make this 400 team.
I don't think there's any doubt because there's no other place where she's going to get 3 quality races where she can work on whatever the model is that Bobby's having to work on, right? I mean, New York gave us another clue as to just how fast this woman is right now, because she honestly did not go out as fast as she could have and should have. So we
Well, see, hold on, whoa. What is this should have? Why should she go out faster?
Well, I mean, can we all agree that 23 mid wasn't what she should have or what she could have gone out to come back?
I mean, she could go out faster, but like do we know that if she goes out faster, she can make it back?
I mean, that's a good. I think that's what the Paris race was for. Let's go pedal to
See,
the
my
metal.
my thing is this: is that Bobby is one of the more calculated humans that walks the planet Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and he had her do that for a reason.
Yes.
See, I think she can go out like 0.3 faster. I think she. I mean, when he freshens her a little, she's
Mhm.
gonna come back faster. That's the key right there.
Yeah.
I don't think the key to her running faster is going out faster. The key to her running faster is coming back faster when he freshens her up. That's just me.
Yeah.
You know, see, I don't
we
know
all
what kind of
agree-
flat foot speed she has right now.
Would we all agree that Bobby is not interested in watching Sydney win the 400 at Worlds?
Mm-hmm.
He's only interested in breaking that record.
Yep.
Right. See, I think he wants the American record back.
Yes, he does.
And I think that it is on big time.
That's the
watch
minimum. That's the minimum.
Yeah. That's the maximum. He's not trying to get the world record. That's not. No. No.
So
let
me just my three. I mean, I think my clear three are Wilson, McLaughlin, Diggs, by far. I think Talitha, you know, and Sir Lucius can probably speak to this even more. I think Talitha was built for that stage. I think she enjoys that pressure. Yeah, I think we see what we expect from Talitha in Eugene.
Oh, that's another one with a chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pick the same three. I hate the chalk, but I'll pick the same three. But I'll say this. I think it's going to be those three. And I don't think that, like, it would be even more interesting to figure out who's going to be fourth, because I think there's a whole mess behind them. But the three is there. That's an interesting group.
Remember, those are three of the
interesting
four that were on the World Championship 4x4 last year.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. And so the question, really and truly, somebody better be paying attention, is like, getting fourth in this race is actually really important, because you may very well be running 400 at World Championships.
Absolutely. And what's even more interesting, you're talking about the top 14 entered that have run sub 51. So it's between 50-17 to 50-84. Right? 11 women are within. I mean, come on, man. That is fun. And that's, you know, I mean, I think there should be more, and we probably might see some more that dip under 50. But yeah, I'm loving this.
Wow. We shall see. We shall see. So we are going to talk about this lovely trophy, the big heavy one, Bowerman. And the finalists have been named. Did they get it right? Are the chairs being filled by the right booties?
Oh, I'll go first. Are we doing the women first or the men first?
You can go ahead and take a bite out of your steak. Go with the men first.
You know what? We'll go men first because the men's meet was first. So obviously, I personally believe they got it right, because I've been rooting for three field eventers pretty much from the beginning of this year. But let's just call it what it truly is, right? There were so many bags fumbled that I'm not sure that anybody was like truly confident who the third person was going to be, right?
I'm not sure anybody was confident the second person was going to
Yeah.
I mean, let's dig into that for sure, right? I think, if I'm honest, right, if I'm attached to a lie detector test, I would tell you I was legitimately flabbergasted that the dual 5K, 10K champion was not on the days.
Mm-hmm.
Floored. And you know, we'll see how that goes. You know, the field event community has dealt very many times with snubs to the dais, so this will be interesting to see how that community deals with that. It's also very interesting that there's 2 decathletes on the dais, and that somebody take a picture of that, because that will literally never happen again. And I think it happened the only way it could happen, right? It's like one had a world dominant performance indoors and the other one had a world dominant performance outdoors, which tells you pretty simply the triple jumper is going to win.
So that's where I'm at. Did they get it right? No, they didn't get it right, because I'm sorry, Kai Robinson deserves to be on the dais. Am I gonna yell and stand on the table and stomp my foot over it? No, I'm not, because there have been plenty of distance people who have gotten the benefit of the doubt over the years. So to see him not get one, cool. I'm fine with who's up there. But if you tell me that this thing ends any other way than Jalen Hibbert with the Bowerman in his hand, then we all might triple jump to the dais.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? We all might, do the what do they do at the convention? The drunken triple jump in the hallway to the dais to protest the winner, because I'm sorry, there's no universe where giving it to anybody else makes any sense whatsoever. So congratulations, Mr. Hibbert. Enjoy the show. Decathletes, you deserve your honorable mention. That's why you're up there. Enjoy the videos, give good speeches, but Arkansas wins this.
I mean, yeah.
I don't. I'm like you. I'm not sure how Mr. Robinson's not up there.
I mean, it's wild.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, there's some other people that honorable mention types. I mean, Turner Washington, right? Oh, Jordan Geist.
For sure.
More field event people though, right? So, but the big one. I mean, I don't think they've necessarily got it wrong, but I think there's a really strong case for Mr. Robinson to be up there. There really is. There really is.
Yeah, I think there's just so much shock amongst just about everybody that he's not on there.
Yeah. I think it's obvious who or the number one and the winner will be. I think that is obvious. I think based on what Kyle Garland did indoors, how phenomenal his indoors was, I think that was a good argument. But we're talking about, consistency indoor and out. And the Bowerman this year, like the people that are eventually going to win dominated indoors, dominated outdoors, period. And so, I mean, what Leo did to break the collegiate record outdoors, I mean, you talk about finishing with a flourish. That was, I mean, he pretty much made his argument right at the end. So, sometimes these folks can make decisions based on the last thing that they've seen. But yeah, I mean, I love it too, because I love my field events and I love my multis and jumps. So it's going to be fun to watch those 3 young men watch their highlights at the comeback.
Yeah. Now
Jaden Hibbert, get your speech ready, buddy.
Exactly.
I mean, right.
Well, finally, for the jumps coaches, the field event coaches, we're actually gonna be super entertained. We're always entertained by the sprint videos, but we're gonna really feel the videos this time around. So that's gonna be fun. So I have a comment after this, after we go through the women, but I'm sure someone will say it before I even get there. But so let's move to the women's side. Did they get it right?
Hell no.
Huh?
Hell no.
Well, jump
why.
right in there, Clyde. What say you, sir?
Okay. So at the NCAA level, our podium is 1 through 8. We all understand why it's 1 through 8. All-American is a fine distinction. We all appreciate it. We all root for it. We all work for it. But it's still track and field, and we all understand that the podium is 1 through 3. if you take the names away and I tell you that person number 1 has 2 national championships and set 2 collegiate records, and then person number 2 has 1 championship and set 1 record, it doesn't make any sense. I don't care about the popularity contest. It's nonsense. There's no way that Britton Wilson, and once again, much like last year, you're talking about 2 teammates, same school. There's no way that Britton Wilson deserves to be up there over Akira Nugent. There's no way you can argue that. She got 1 title, 1 record, and then outdoors did not make the podium, the actual podium. What do we know? Akira Nugent belongs up there. Pig Suey, all that. The Jamaican belongs up there. That's it. The other 2, fine. Yes, Jasmine, absolutely. Deservedly so, a year late.
Absolutely.
This should be her second time up there.
Amen to that.
And Juju's gonna win. So if we all know Juju's gonna win, Akira Nugent deserved her moment because she earned it.
You know, I try to make it a point in my life to not agree with Clyde. For once, maybe twice in his life, like his argument was like coherent, cogent, succinct, correct.
That's a lot of cow words.
And irrefutable.
Yes. Here's another one.
Well, I'm trying to educate you folks out in the ether. But at the end of the day, like, look, Akira Nugent deserves to be on the dais. I mean, not as much as Jasmine Moore did last year, but Akira Nugent deserves to be on the dais.
Yes.
And that is not a slight or a slap to Britton Wilson, but here it is, folks. Britton, look, those who try to achieve greatness also take on the biggest risk, right? If she runs one of those, she probably wins, and she deserves to be on the Bowerman dais.
Yes.
She chose to run both. She did not make podium in either. Akira Nugent ran what was slated for her and won. She has not lost to a collegian at a national championship meet this year. So I don't get how you don't put her on the dais. We're not going to talk about Jasmine Moore because we should have been talking about Jasmine Moore a whole damn year ago. And again, if Juju doesn't win, I will never say the word Bowerman again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Look, the amount of titles that these athletes, these 30 have amassed, I mean, in a very short period of time, it's absolutely amazing. But when you have to really wonder what the criteria was that went into picking Britton Wilson as part of these 3. Everything was trending towards her coronation. But is that enough? Is that enough to go ahead and put her on there anyway? Right? And that's the part. I mean, obviously she captured the imagination. Folks were just like, oh my gosh, like she's actually attempting this. But is the attempt enough to say, hey, you know, we haven't forgotten what you did indoors and all of this stuff, winning, you know, but everybody else won indoor and outdoor, right? They established themselves as champions indoor and outdoor. So I'm inclined to agree that Akira Nugent deserves to be on the dais for the Bowerman, and Juju's a clear winner, point blank.
I agree that I think that Akira deserves to be up there. Britton had a phenomenal year, but she fumbled the bag. She won nothing outdoors, right? And So I think that she's up there like we've done in the past. We put people up there for performances, not for achievements. And so I think people are very enamored with her races and her times, which were phenomenal. I think there are people that are still enamored with her attempt to do this double. But I do think that Akira got the short end of the stick on this one. She did.
So not relevant to picks or if they got it right or anything, but that would be super cool if Jasmine won it on the women and Jada won it on the men.
Holy cow.
Listen,
Jump coaches
would
unite.
be mutiny. That would be mutiny.
But it would be cool.
But you know what it would also be? Chaos, which I'm here for. So if Jasmine gets to get screwed last year, then let Juju get screwed this year.
Oh,
let's go.
I mean, I'm gonna say it
right.
because everybody else on this wonderful panel has too much I don't know, sense or tact to say it. Jasmine should have won last year.
Yeah.
Forget the dais. Jasmine should have won last year.
I think we've made ourselves clear. I think we have. I think, that was.
Wait, this is bad. I don't remember who won last year.
Abby
Stunner.
Okay, there you go.
And again, I don't have like some problem with Abby winning. That's not my. Don't at me. I'm just saying if we're just basing it on what you were allowed to try to achieve and what you achieved, literally Jasmine didn't miss.
Four titles.
Fo. She fo.
Okay.
Technically, if you want to be slick about it, 8.
Right.
She swept all the SECs too.
Right.
So
anyway.
right. Talking about the big meets, let's do a little bit of insightful thinking. It's been a very hot topic on the internet lately. The NCAA championships will be in Eugene for the next 3 years. The bid has been won or placed and set, and it'll be there. So Clyde is a happy man. Zyrtec, Allertech, Claritin, everybody go buy their stock because for the next 3 years, everybody will be taking it before we get there. With that said, with the move, do we think that we will see anything close to the great sprint performances that we saw this year in Austin?
Oh, okay. Did y'all know that this? Did I know? Was I supposed to know that this was going to be a question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right. Well, I apologize for not doing I apologize for not reading in advance. This is such a stupid argument. I hate this argument.
Is it an argument or is it a question, sir?
I hate the question because it comes from shitty arguments. Whatever event you want to, not you, sir. You idiots out there in the world. Whatever event you want to credit Austin for the performances, it was already the fastest year on record before we ever arrived in Austin. So the question of, will we see this again? I don't know. Will the kids be just as good next year or the year after? Because it has nothing to do with the venue. Like, the 4x1s were already the fastest year on record. 2 teams ran 37 before we got to the show.
So do you think, so you're saying that no matter where the meet was this year, it was going to be fast? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
You could have put the meet in Des Moines. It was going to be that.
Ooh.
You could have put it at Randall's Island.
No.
Hey, I like that track.
No.
Man.
All right, so what is your answer to the question?
That would be, oh my gosh.
What is your answer to the question?
My answer to the question is that the premise is flawed, and it's this year's performances were about the phenomenal kids that just so happened to be at the NCAA meet this year, and the coaches that pushed them.
So is
that a yes or no?
The answer is you think we will see this again or we won't?
Possibly.
No.
I'm
Wait a minute. Juju's a junior, right?
She's gone.
But she's a junior. So
She's
if you
gone.
tell me Juju's coming back next year, yeah, she's gonna run faster next year in Oregon.
All right. Okay. I am going to take the baton out of this man's
But
hand.
but if you're telling me Juju came back this year, ran faster, and also than she did in Oregon last year.
Yeah, because she's a year better, a year older, a year more developed with her coach. That's what should happen, is it not?
Okay, see, I don't think that was the premise of the question.
Mhm.
I think that's how you took the question. And I'm not deep diving in this with you. I'm not in it.
Okay, how about this?
Not gonna do
How
it.
about this? Y'all got, look, this is what we're gonna do. Y'all got it.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Stupid.
So I'm actually going to answer the question, right?
Because I have no idea what's going on right now. I have no idea.
For me, right, it just comes down to
Oh man.
facts, right? So like, do I think that, with the meet being in Eugene, that we're going to see 989, 1984, 22 flat,
1977.
1977, sorry. 22 flat, 1070 something, 1080 something, right? Here's what I'm going to say. I think unequivocally we're going to see every single one of those marks except for the collegiate record in a women's 4x1. I think all of those marks
There's the
are
proper
gonna,
answer to the
I think all of those marks are going to be replicated in Eugene. Like I think somebody's going to
At
run
some point,
980, especially
Yeah.
you said I got 3 years. Somebody's going to run 980,
exactly.
980 something at the NCAA meet there. Somebody's going to run 1970 something there. Somebody's definitely going to run 4420 something there because it doesn't matter. And so on. Like I think the marks are going to be replicated because it's not like the Eugene track is slow.
Right. And here's the thing I will say. I think it will be a long time before you see the depth of the
Yes.
event.
Yes.
I'll buy that.
And I don't think it has anything to do with the venue. But I just think that the depth of the events this year were incredible. So if we'd have seen that depth, if we were in Eugene this year and that depth happened, I don't know if you see it ever again in Eugene. But the same thing. I think it was a special year. I do think the weather plays something into it. I do, especially for the shorter events. Because you think about, okay, look at the depth of the men's high hurdles. Look at the depth of the women's hurdles. Look at the depth of the sprints as a whole. Okay, so obviously records are meant to be broken, and they will. So at some point in time, you're gonna witness somebody run super fast in those events. But I just don't think, and I don't think it has anything to do with necessarily the venue, but I don't think you'll see the depth of it. And maybe it has nothing to do with the venue, but I think the weather and the atmosphere is a little bit different too. I don't think the depth will be there because you've never seen that depth ever in Eugene before.
So I'm gonna go at it from another angle, and I have not gone through and swept through all the sprint events, jump events, but I feel like we've been heading this way in this direction year by year from a COVID perspective.
This is the COVID chickens coming to roost.
This is what you get when now you have 5th year, 6th year, some kids are in their 7th year, 2 masters, they're working on all these things. Some folks are on 3 schools. Like we're in
Governor, I hear you, but I don't think that any of the people that did these things were 6-year people.
Okay. I hear you on that. But I will say there were a bunch of 5th year seniors. Absolutely. There are a bunch of 4-year juniors in there for sure.
But 4-year juniors can't count because that happens every year.
Yes.
And so do 5th years.
Yes.
Right. So COVID or not, we would have 5th year seniors. Right.
Yes.
So unless there are 6th and 7th year people that have grandchildren, I
Yeah.
don't think we. I mean, I don't factor that in there. I mean, I'm not saying that your point is wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't recall if you go through the events.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're okay. I'm hard pressed to think of someone in the sprint events and the hurdle events that qualifies as a COVID 6th year.
Yeah.
And even a COVID 5th year.
Yeah.
And just off the top of my head, I can be wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm getting at is I feel like the finalists, the people that performed well, are a whole lot more mature and a whole lot more prepared than we've seen in years past. And I'm talking about before COVID. They're like, it's just ultimately very, very impressive, the product that was on the track in Texas.
Right.
Unbelievably professional. Those kids lined up and they got after it. It was a clinic, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Now we're now heading to the downswing, and we're going to get to a point where things are normalized again, and we're going to get back to what we grew up with and what we had seen over the years. But nationals are nationals, man. Folks are going to line up and they're going to give it every single year. I don't think it's going to matter that it's in Eugene or it's in Austin. Yes, the weather had a lot to do with it. The magic carpet that's in Austin had a lot to do with it. Yes, all of that played a part. But we're talking about, what is it called, Clyde? What was it called? The cathedral, right? They will show up and they will compete in the cathedral. So, I think it's neither here nor there as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Nothing. You got a yeah.
I went.
I'm just saying. You
I think
sounded like you're prepping.
the only
for
other
that.
thing I was going to say, just on the COVID folks, right, is like, I'm not really so much sold on the age, like the COVID 5th and 6th and 7th years, but I am sold on this. We had an entire field minus the freshmen that were affected by COVID because they had to work harder just to get to do the sport. They spent a year of COVID training and not competing, and that hardens and sharpened 3/4 of the field.
But that affected everybody because the other ones were in high school, so it affected them too.
Yeah, so that's
so
what
even
I'm
the freshmen were affected. So here's what I'm going to say, because I'm just trying to go through this in my mind. Like, there was no one that was a major factor in the short hurdles, the 1, the 2, and the 4 at this meet that was a 5th or 6th year person.
No, not at all.
Because obviously Juju won the 1 and the 2. She's 4th year, right? She's been there regardless. 400 meter champions 2nd year, right? She's a true sophomore.
Yeah.
Right. Akira Nugent, true junior. And then on the men's side, the Arkansas guy, he's a 4th year, 3rd year guy. And then Courtney Lindsay is I think he's a 4th year guy. And then the Stanford kid is a true sophomore. So I don't think the big time performances were affected as far as being the older guys, because I just think that it was a year where it started with the indoor meet, right? And I just kind of popped the top off of it until everybody knew in order to be successful outdoors, we had to work to a certain level, and everybody did. I think that the difference moving forward will be, we won't have a altitude aided indoor championships that gets the whole thing rolling the way it did this year.
All right. Well, not arguments been made. Statements have definitely been made. But nonetheless, we will be in Eugene the next 3 years, regardless. So
And it will be good. It always is. Never been to a bad meeting in Eugene, Oregon, ever.
no.
No.
Well, with that said, our topics of discussion are done, but the would you rather is not. And sharks don't retire. You're up, sir.
Oh, all right.
And I'll be honest, I kind of forgot that we're doing would you rather, so I didn't prep it, so it's off the cuff.
This woman.
I don't know why. Well, I do
Just
know
for the
why,
record, that's 2 weeks in a row.
that is, but valid reasons.
I mean, that's fair.
Yes. So I got the first one though. Gummy bears or gummy worms?
Sour gummy worms.
Got it. Okay. Would you rather win the Powerball or the Mega Millions?
Which one's bigger?
Right now, Powerball. Well, in Texas.
Powerball.
I don't know if that goes for everywhere else, but Texas Powerball.
Powerball.
Okay.
Like that song. Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
Anyways, that was. We'll go ahead and rewind and delete that one.
That was spectacular.
Since we all fall victim to your videos, Instagram Reels or TikTok videos?
Well, you already know this answer. I refuse to ever be a TikToker, so Instagram Reels. And as much as my son keeps telling me they're the same thing, I'm like, yeah, okay, Instagram Reels.
You don't have to be a TikToker to have an account and know that TikTok is hilarious.
I got it. You'll have to tell me about it one day, sir.
I'm just going to start sending you TikToks, more of them.
I mean, it's fine. You and my 24-year-old can have at it.
Okay. Which sport would you rather see in high school athletics next? Cornhole or quad ball? Quad ball, for if you don't know, is Quidditch. Harry Potter fans.
Okay, so I'm a huge Potter fan, but there's no question. I am here for a hood cornhole team. I am here for the cornhole team at McClymonds High School that will dominate the world.
Oh my gosh.
I would love to see cornhole as a high school sport. I am here for that. First of all, I want to be there to make the cuts. And then how do you explain to somebody that you're on the JV cornhole team?
Oh, Lord.
All right, moving on.
Dude, this is your fault.
I know that one. I didn't think that was going to go off the edge so much.
Cornhole is a game. It is not a sport.
Oh, boy.
I mean, for sure, but that's not what she asked me, so.
Oh my gosh. Would you rather be in dry heat or humid heat? Or I guess.
Lord.
Yeah, just because I was sweating.
This is simple for me. If I'm competing, humid heat. If I'm just living, dry heat.
Got it. Ode to Texas.
My body loves humid heat to compete.
Oof.
Me just standing around, I'm not trying to be swampy. So no, I'll take dry and hot.
Oh my gosh. All right, gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Okay. Starting quarterback. Would you rather be starting quarterback for the Giants or the starting pitcher for the Yankees?
Ooh, good one.
Ooh, yes. I would rather be the starting quarterback for the Giants and bring home another Super Bowl, because if I'm the starting pitcher for the Yankees and we win our 29th title, it'll be cool. It'll be cool for like 3 days.
I think you're wrong about that, but
okay, 4 days.
No.
You would get a parade, the parade alone.
I'm getting a parade either way, sir, because I'm winning the championship.
I'm just
Giants are out
disagreeing with
East
you.
Rutherford, man. Like,
Yeah, and I think we're just disagreeing that it'll be a good thing for 4 days.
Oh
it's
no, it'll
been
be
a
awesome.
long
It'll be awesome
time
forever.
since the
I mean, you're
Yankees
right.
won.
I mean, it ain't been as long as it has for the Giants, but we're good. I'll take either one, to be honest. I couldn't lose there.
All right. Speaking of losing, do you love or hate the fact that Jordan Poole got bounced from the Golden State Warriors?
See, you know what? Clyde's pettiness is the gift that will always continue to give. You know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that I literally ran around my house with my finger in the air doing the bull dance that we got rid of Jordan Poole. I didn't even care what we got back. The fact that we got an aging superstar point guard who's always hurt and can't run the offense that we run, not even relevant to me. Listen, Jordan Poole's contract was one of the worst contracts in the NBA. You talk about things that didn't age well, it went sour immediately. Like somebody opened the door and the milk went sour immediately. So yeah, I was excited about that one. It wasn't even the player. Like, it's not even like I don't really like Jordan Poole, but I wasn't hating so much on the player. The contract was going to destroy the Warriors.
All right, so you're a head coach on a major league baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
Keep things. Would you rather go on?
Hello? We didn't hear any of that. Would I rather go Would I rather go what?
We heard nothing
You're
you
back
said,
now.
sir.
We heard nothing you said.
I said you're a manager on a major league baseball team.
Yes, sir.
Would you rather go undefeated at home or on the road?
I would rather go undefeated at home.
Okay. Interesting.
All right. Perspective.
I'll take 81 wins in Yankee Stadium.
That might get a little loud.
New York.
Oh no.
Ooh, can I throw the EP an extra would you rather question?
Do it.
Do it.
For petty and make it more interesting purposes, the governor just inspired a question for me.
Oh, Lord.
You are the newly hired head coach / director of track and field at School X.
Oh, God.
Yep.
The governor, Big League, Lucius, and myself are all vehemently unavailable to you.
I can't hire none of y'all?
None of us.
Okay.
Who would you rather have on your staff?
Of the four of you?
No, we're unavailable.
Oh. So how many people am I picking? 5?
Apparently you get an unlimited number in today's world. So
Oh my God.
that was many.
I see.
What kind of question is this?
This is
who would you rather have on your staff? And we all know he would have punted and put us on there. So damn that, we're unavailable.
I don't know if you're all unavailable because I have a large pocketbook, so I can hire somebody else.
It's carousel season.
We'll start with the easy one. Brian Bluetrick. So now I got a trophy.
There you
go. I'm going to make myself better and make my chief competitor worse. So I'm going to hire Will Palmer as my distance coach. That's all I needed. I just wanted to see the lookup.
You think so, huh?
Hey, this is my fantasy world, right? So that means I actually have more money
definitely
to
a
offer
fantasy.
him than you.
Yeah, that's definitely a fantasy.
Whew. I got distance and throws. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I might even pull a Dave Schnelly and just not coach nothing. You know, I like chaos, turmoil, and nostalgia. So I'm going to hire Tim Hall and Boogie Johnson.
Oh man.
So now I got one left. I in theory have to hire a jumps person. Is that right? Or a something. I have to hire a something.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna hire TJ Harris.
Ooh.
Hey.
Ooh. So you
See,
just
so
you just took two
let me show you how you get this done and get what you want. You hire Tiana Madison to coach your jumpers, and then Clyde's got to come. You hire
Oh,
Jackie
that's a good
Rich-
one.
That's a
good one.
You hire Jackie to coach your sprints, and then the governor's got to come.
Oh, that's right. Then I can hire like both of those two will be my volunteers for $60,000 a piece.
That's right.
No. Those have to be the high price ones because then you don't get those two.
No,
cats.
I'm talking about these two cats. These two cats.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah. So those two get the 150, and then these two get the 60. And then you got 200,000 in each household. There you go.
I like it.
That's funny.
See, that's how you do things in games. We'll get stuff done. See?
I like it.
That's funny. All right. Well, moving on to round out the show, our heartbeat props, just letting people know that we're thinking about them. I'll go real quick to those traveling to their first round of championships for their respective nations and other championships happening. Travel safe, stay healthy, move on to the next round.
I'll jump in right behind you, and on that same note, I am blessed enough to co-coach these gentlemen, but my heartbeat props go out to the Goon Squad because by the time we next record, we will be in 3 different time zones and 2 different countries. So go get them, boys. Go get them.
I pretty much in the same vein. This is season 3 for the collegiates.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah. And for the pros, they're kicking off their road towards Budapest. Good luck to all. Next week is going to be some major fireworks, and I'm looking forward to it.
I'm just gonna give my my heartbeat props to the athletes from the Gator Track and Field program that have qualified for the USA Championships that have stayed around here and been diligent in their preparation, and also to the professional group that trains here in Gainesville as well. And wish everybody well. Let's go out there and represent Team USA in Budapest. It's our quest.
Right.
One of the wish Sir Lucius luck for coaching the country of Florida.
It begins. See, you know what? No hamburgers for you when we get to Eugene, but you're done.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, one of the cooler events, cooler underrated events, in my opinion, that our sport has is the European Team Championships. For all sorts of reasons about how that thing is structured, it's just really, really interesting and cool. My heartbeat props go out this week to the young lady. I do not know her name, and I probably couldn't pronounce it.
Oh,
but the thrower that ran the hurdles. That's
right. To the young lady who jumped into the hurdles when one of her teammates was unavailable for the 100-meter hurdle final, just to make sure that her team
Wasn't
Which-
disqualified.
had qualified and got the points that they deserved. Here's
Yeah.
the thing: shot putter,
Yeah.
shot putter, and successfully navigated in her legal way, the 10 hurdles and scored points for the team.
I mean, it was a pretty snazzy 5-step. She actually did more than a yeoman's job.
Listen,
Her name is Jolien Bumquo.
yeah, no way I was getting that right. So very cool, very funny video. Props to her, and it just kind of speaks to, you know, the spirit. There's rare opportunity in this sport for a thing to be a team event, and that particular championship is one of the cool things that you could ever watch or experience in our sport. And they care about it, they take it seriously, and to see a shot putter step out and guarantee the point was kind of dope. So props to her.
Just another example of how they have taken a model that we use on a collegiate level. They brought a team aspect to it. How are they able to do it in that area, and we can't do it in this area?
That's right.
Tell
Because
them, bro.
there are points coming out of this. Am I not right? Am I correct or am I wrong?
There are.
You are correct.
Enough said. I'm just a bystander, just watching.
All right. Well, as people watch this, and I will say, Tiles, if you did not notice, last week's show got quite a few comments, some laughable, some not. But so love the conversation, audience, keep it up. But with that said, safe travels to those traveling next week, wherever you might be going respectively. Other than that, it'll be too late by the time this airs. So Tiles, this is your reminder to go vote for the Bowerman, because it closes tomorrow. So everyone, have a great evening, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
When the lights come on, the road just get to running. When the lights come on, opponents mess the plumbing. Heard you like it warm, hot, knife the butter. Truth pin them hard, knock them off that rebuttal. Tsunami, tidal wave to your puddle. Tough love, punch you in the arms, little brothers. Athletics LLC, there's no others. Track and fields, pacing with pill to go further. Hey, Wile E. Coyote, it's road runners. Feels like you know us, you've been with us the whole summer. If not for this quarantine, these four corners wouldn't be here, but we here, so start learning. You gotta earn your stripes, gotta get your scars. Show you how to fight, but show us who you are. You lack experience, but still you wanna talk. And who is actually talking to? Your circle's kinda small. Heads prevail when the backbone's strong. Gotta keep it coming, no, it won't last long. Pass and failed and sell the sad song. And if you don't check yourself, then that's wrong. Just trying to give you the real that you asked for. So why you keep cutting us off to ask more? We put it in slow-mo, but you fast forward. Athletics LLC, the task force.